Your finger hovers over the Confirm Contribution button. $6,000, Roth IRA. The screen glows in the dark of your studio apartment in Astoria. It's 11:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. You are 22. You make $58,400 a year. A laminated index card sits on your desk. Marcus gave it to you 3 months ago. He is 48, makes $710,000 a year, and tells everyone he learned the rules too late. He says most people miss this window. You don't know yet that pressing this button is what the top 1% did at your age. You don't know yet that the next 40 years are already deciding themselves. You are 22. The starting state is small. You earn $58,400 as a junior data analyst at a logistics firm in Long Island City. Take home is $3,580 a month. Rent is $2,400. You eat oatmeal 4 mornings a week and bring lentils to work in a glass container. Marcus walks past your desk one Tuesday and asks if you have a Roth IRA. You don't. He sits on the edge of your desk and pulls a laminated index card from his wallet. The card is bent at the corner from 20 years of carrying it. The card has 6 lines. Save 25% of gross. Max Roth IRA every year before March. Capture the full 401k match. Index funds only. No individual stocks, no crypto, no options. Increase contribution every raise. Never check the balance. You read the card 3 times. Marcus tells you he started at 36. He says the gap between you and him is 14 years of compounding, and it can never be closed. He hands you a copy of the card to keep. That night, you open a Roth IRA at Fidelity. You set up the auto contribution, $500 a month. You enroll in the 401k at 6%. That is the match cap. You move all of it into a target date fund. The expense ratio is 0.08%. You don't tell anyone what you did. Priya, your closest friend from college, posts a photo of her new Honda Civic the same week. She bought it on a 5-year loan at 8.2%. You drive a 2014 Toyota Corolla your mother passed down to you. The odometer reads 187,000 miles. The check engine light has been on since November. Your phone vibrates. Mom. You set up an automatic transfer of $217 every 2 weeks. She still works 2 jobs. She is 56. She has $3,200 in savings. You don't tell her about the Roth either. You calculate the math on a notepad. $500 a month at 8% for 43 years. The number you write is $70,000. You stare at it. It does not feel real. It is just a number on cheap paper, but the button has been pressed. The first contribution clears in 3 days. At level 1, the window is not a feeling. It is a date on a calendar that no one else is watching. You are 24. You have been investing for 2 years. The Roth has $13,400 in it. The 401k has $19,800. Together, that is $33,200. The market gave you 11% 1 year, then took back 4 the next. You got promoted to senior analyst. The new salary is $74,200. Your roommate Theo is 25 and just bought a 1-bedroom condo in Hoboken with 5% down on a $620,000 unit. His mortgage payment is $4,180 a month. He says he is building equity. You did the math on a napkin. He pays $3,790 a month in interest, taxes, insurance, and HOA. He builds $390 a month in equity. You do not say this out loud. You move to a smaller studio in Sunnyside, Queens for $1,275 a month. The savings goes straight into a brokerage account at Fidelity, a taxable account for the money that won't fit in the Roth or 401k. You buy VTI, total stock market. Expense ratio 0.03%. The card is taped to the inside of your bathroom mirror now. You read line 3 every morning. Index funds only. No individual stocks, no crypto, no options. In April, a coworker named Daniel makes $14,000 in 3 weeks on a meme stock. He shows everyone his Robinhood screen at lunch. You do not buy the stock. In June, the same stock falls 71%. Daniel does not show his screen anymore. You call Marcus once a quarter. He always asks the same 2 questions. Did you increase your contribution after your last raise? Did you check the balance more than once a month? You say yes to one, no to the other. He grunts approval. Mom turns 58. She mentions her back is bad. She still cleans houses 3 days a week. You start sending her $200 a month. You don't tell her where it comes from. She thinks it is a tax refund. You tell her to put it toward a savings account. She buys a new pair of work shoes instead. By the end of the year, you are saving $1,890 a month across all accounts. That is 31% of gross. The card said 25. You are above the line. The Toyota's odometer reads 211,000 miles. You replace the alternator yourself with a YouTube video and a $94 part. At level 2, discipline isn't a feeling. It is the absence of every decision you didn't make. You are 27. The accounts have crossed $138,000 combined. The Roth alone has $42,300. The 401k has $61,800. The taxable has $34,200. You move to a senior data engineer role at a fintech firm in Midtown. Base salary $128,000. Annual bonus $19,000. RSUs vest at $42,000 over 4 years. The total comp on the offer letter reads $189,000. You take the job. You stop wearing the steel blue suit. The new office is hoodie culture, but you keep the laminated card in your wallet. The corners are fraying like Marcus's was. You meet Lena. She is 26, a pediatric nurse at NYU Langone. You realize at this rate, on the third date, you tell her about the card. She does not laugh. It is for the first time real. Who retired with $890,000 because he never sold an index fund through 3 recessions. She shows you her own brokerage account on her phone. 61,200 in VTI and SCHD. She started at 23. You move in together at 28. A 1-bedroom in Astoria, 2640 split. You both keep separate accounts, but track combined savings on a spreadsheet she names the engine. On the first of every month, the engine runs automatically. $4,200 across both Roths, both 401ks, 2 HSAs, and 1 taxable account. In November, the market drops 19% in 3 weeks. Your portfolio shows a paper loss of $26,400. You log in once. You do not log in again for 41 days. You buy more on the auto schedule. You buy through the entire drop. By February, the recovery is complete, and the contributions you made during the drop have already gained 17%. Daniel calls you in December. He sold all his crypto at the bottom and lost $112,000. He wants to know what he should do. You read him line 3 of the card. He says he already knows that line. Mom turns 61. You drive her to a cardiologist. She has high blood pressure and stage 1 diabetes. Her savings is $4,100. You start sending $400 a month and pay for her metformin yourself. You text Marcus. By the end of the year, the engine has saved $51,700, 36% of combined gross. The card sits next to a coffee mug on the kitchen counter. The other version of you is also 32. Increased contribution every raise. You both nod. Neither of you needs reminding. At level 3, the infrastructure is not the spreadsheet. It is the silence on the morning after a 9% drop. You are 32. The window has closed. Most of your peers will never invest the way you did. In your 20s, you did. The accounts now read $487,000 combined. The Roth has $146,000. The 401k has $208,000. The taxable has $103,000. The HSA has $30,000. You and Lena married last summer at her parents' backyard in Westchester. 46 guests. The bill came to $11,200. Half what your friends spent on their weddings. You wrote the check from the taxable account and replaced the cash within 5 months. The market gave you 9.4% last year. That is $41,800 in gains. You contributed $61,000 across all accounts. The market's contribution to your wealth has now exceeded your own paycheck's contribution for the first time. You read the card on a Sunday morning at 7:34 a.m. You do not say anything to Lena. You are still in the same house. A daughter is born in March. Anna, 6 pounds, 4 ounces. The night you bring her home, it snows. You sit in the rocker by her crib at 4:17 a.m., holding a bottle. Lena sleeps. You open the brokerage app on your phone and create a 529 plan. You set it to $400 a month. She is 6 days old. You get poached to a director-level role at a payment processing company. Base $194,000. Bonus target $48,000. RSUs $135,000 over 3 years. Daniel is at the same level somewhere else, making more, but his net worth is $87,000 because he put a down payment on a 4-bedroom in New Rochelle, and the mortgage eats $6,800 a month. You and Lena buy a small 2-bedroom in Astoria. $740,000, 20% down, 6.1% mortgage. The payment is $5,260 with taxes. The card has a new line written in Lena's handwriting. Underneath line 6. Buy a house only when the engine doesn't notice. The engine did not notice. Mom turns 66. She finally retires. Her Social Security is $1,940 a month. You and Lena cover her rent, $1,200 a month, for a small apartment in Queens. She cries the day you tell her. She does not have to clean houses anymore. The Toyota Corolla is parked in your garage. The odometer reads 273,000 miles. You will not sell it. At level 4, compounding is not magic. It is the moment the market starts paying you more than your boss. You are 40. The accounts have crossed $1,840,000. The math the 22-year-old wrote on a notepad in Astoria. Came true 11 years ahead of schedule. You forget about that notepad until Lena finds it. The same $1,400 a year for 45 years. You both stand in the kitchen and look at the number. $2 million was the goal. You are 8 years from 65. And you are most of the way there. The Roth alone has $487,000. The 401k has $814,000. The taxable has $402,000. The HSA has $137,000. You are now a VP at a public fintech. Total comp $467,000. The RSU vesting alone exceeds your father's lifetime earnings. Your father died when you were 19. You have not forgotten that. Anna is 8. She has 19,400s in her 529. You read her line one of the card on her 6th birthday, and again on her 8th. Save 25% of every dollar that comes through your hand. The rule is the same. The clock is not. Level 5, the crossover, age 50. You know she will. In October, Mom dies in her sleep at 68. The autopsy says heart failure. You handle the arrangements yourself. The funeral costs $11,400. You write the check without thinking about it. You drive the Toyota to the cemetery. The odometer reads 308,000 miles. 3 weeks later, you find an envelope in her drawer. Inside is the original laminated card. Marcus gave you at 22. You had given a copy to your mother 8 years ago at Thanksgiving. She had kept it. On the back in her handwriting, she wrote, "I am proud of you. I always was." You sit on the floor of her empty apartment and read it 3 times. You do not cry until line 5. The market drops 24% in November and December. Your paper loss is $441,000. You contribute through the drop. You buy more. You do not check the balance for 53 days. By April, the recovery is complete, and the November contribution alone is up 31%. Priya calls you for the first time in 5 years. Her Honda Civic was repossessed 2 years ago. She has $4,800 in her 401k at 38. She wants to know what she should do. You tell her the truth. The window closed. The math does not undo itself. But she should still start tomorrow. She thanks you. She does not start. At level 5, the threshold is not a number. It is the moment the math has done more for your family than your job ever could. You are 50. The accounts read $4,120,000 combined. The Roth alone is $1,310,000. The 401k is $2,140,000. The taxable is $1,180,000. The HSA is $290,000. The math you wrote at 22 said $2,070,000 by 65. You crossed that at 39. Compound interest does not announce itself. It just continues. You were promoted to Chief Data Officer at 46. You took a public company exit at 48 when your firm was acquired. You walked with $3,400,000 from the equity event after taxes. Most of it went into municipal bond ladders, 2 index funds, and a small private fund Lena's father vetted for you. You don't work for money anymore. You work because Anna is 16, and you want her to see what work looks like when it is not for survival. She asks you why you still go to the office. You tell her the truth. Because I can. The 529 has $187,000 in it. Anna's college is funded twice over. You set up a custodial Roth IRA for her at 15. The first summer, she earned $3,200 babysitting. She maxed it. She did not complain. She read the card on her own one weekend and asked you what index funds only meant. You spent 90 minutes explaining VTI to her. At the kitchen table, she took notes. Marcus retires at 76. He sends you a handwritten letter. I started 14 years too late. You started on time. The best thing I ever did was tell you that. You frame the letter and hang it next to his original card. In your office, the Toyota Corolla is in the garage, with 308,000 miles still on the odometer. You have not driven it since Mom's funeral. Lena suggests donating it. You shake your head. Not yet. You begin estate planning, a revocable trust, a generation-skipping trust for Anna, a donor-advised fund seeded with $400,000 from the taxable account. You name your mother as the dedication. You write the line yourself. In memory of a woman who saved $4,100 her whole life and gave her son everything else. Daniel has $190,000 in his 401k. His house is paid off. He is fine. He is also 52 and still working 60-hour weeks. He calls you a lucky bastard at every reunion. You let him. At level 6, wisdom is not the answer. It is the silence after a young person asks you the question. You are 62. The accounts read $11,400,000 combined. The Roth alone is $3,720,000. Every dollar of it tax-free for the rest of your life and Anna's. The 401k, rolled into a traditional IRA at 60, is $4,910,000. The taxable is $2,310,000. The HSA is $470,000. The donor-advised fund has grown to $1,140,000. and given away $312,000 over 12 years. You retired 3 years ago. Lena retired with you. She is 61. You take long walks every morning around Astoria Park. You still live in the same 2-bedroom you bought at 32. The mortgage was paid off when you were 45. You renovated the kitchen in your 50s. You did not buy a second house. Anna is 24. She is a junior data scientist at a healthcare startup in Boston. She makes $98,000. She invests $2,200 a month across her Roth, 401k, and HSA. She visits the second Tuesday of every month for dinner. You make pasta. Lena makes the salad. Anna brings the bread from a bakery on Hudson Street called Lola's. Tonight is one of those second Tuesdays. After dinner, you take a small wooden box from the shelf above the stove. Inside is the laminated index card. Marcus gave you 40 years ago, the one with your mother's handwriting on the back. You hand it to Anna. She holds it. She knows what it is. She has seen it in your office her entire life, but she has never held it. You tell her what Marcus told you. Save 25%. Max the Roth. Capture the match. Index funds only. Increase every raise. Never check the balance. You tell her what your mother wrote on the back. You tell her what you wrote on a notepad at 22, and how the number came true 11 years early. You tell her one more thing. The line you added at 60, in your own handwriting, underneath the others. The window is not a feeling. It is a date on a calendar. Most people will never know it opened. Anna puts the card in her wallet. She does not cry. She does not say much. She finishes her bread and asks if you have more wine. You drive her back to her apartment in the Toyota Corolla. The odometer reads 308,442 miles. You started it once a month for 30 years. It still runs. The check engine light has been on since 2014. She steps out at her stoop. She turns and looks at you through the open passenger window. His daughter walks in. You nod. You do not say anything. You do not need to. The button you pressed at 22 is now a chain that will outlive you. At level 7, the final ledger isn't the number. It is the name on the next line. A young man sits on the floor of a studio apartment in Astoria. It is 11:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. He is 22. He makes $61,800 as a junior product analyst. His finger hovers over the Confirm Contribution button. $6,000, Roth IRA. The screen glows in the dark. A laminated index card sits on his desk. His older cousin Anna gave it to him 3 months ago at a family Christmas dinner. She is 24. A 22-year-old logistics analyst named Daniel stands at the counter. She said he should carry it for 40 years and then give it to someone he loves. He has read the card 7 times. He understands 4 of the 6 lines. The other 2 he is still figuring out. He presses the button. The contribution clears in 3 days. He does not tell anyone what he did. He does not check the balance. He sets the auto contribution and goes to bed. Outside, the city hums. A 2014 Toyota Corolla sits parked on the street, with 308,442 miles on the odometer. Anna gave it to him with the card. He does not know any of this yet, but the math has already started. It always starts there.